Hey you all, and good morning. It is a rainy, dreary day here in Cleveland, Ohio, but it is time. It is time to depart Cleveland. We spent an extra day here because I had to get my car repaired, but it is up and running as far as I know. Hopefully we don't doesn't explode as I travel down the road, but it is time to go to our next stop on the Choose My Adventure road trip. So I'm gonna check here. The poll has been up an extra day because I've been here, but the winner of the poll at 33% of the vote is Columbus, Ohio. Second place was Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania with 27%. Pittsburgh comes up short again. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania only got 17% of the vote, and then Chicago, Illinois with 24%. So I will be headed to Columbus now. Stay tuned to the end of the video and I will give you the next cities that you can vote on to have me go to next. Of course, tomorrow I'll be spending the day in Columbus doing local activities in Columbus, but after that, the next morning, I will depart to whatever city you guys voted for. So let's get the day started. Please follow me. But before we headed completely out of town, I wanted to check out the oddity shop here, Cleveland Curiosities. See, the creature from the Black Lagoon says, creep on in. I guess he's coming out of Lake Erie there. See some delightful skeletons there in the window. See two skeletons playing with a Ouija board there. It's like the planchette is floating in air. These skeletons are freaked out with that floating planchette. See a really cool oddity shop here. See all the different taxidermied animals hanging on the wall here. Look in this cabinet here, a lot of cool little things, but this caught my eye here. Those are pig's ears that have been tattooed. Very interesting. Here's a genuine, super spooky skeleton there. You can see the two-headed calf there. Pretty amazing. A skunk and a squirrel, and then little squirrels crawling up the wall here. There is a genuine bisected, mummified human head. Yeah, you can see inside there. It's super creepy, but sharing the case with the bisected head is the elusive Lake Erie manfish. It says very rare, but has managed to find their way to Cleveland Curiosities. You can see these old tarot cards there with the devil on it. Have a one-eyed cyclopic lamb, a baby lamb there. One eye. It's named Iris, according to the sign. That's a really amazing piece. They have some really amazing freak taxidermy here. And there is, in that bell jar, you have a Fiji mermaid. That's kind of the classic P.T. Barnum pose there, where it stands straight up. There we have an actual shrunken head. It says this is from the 1930s. And the sign there says this is a tourist piece, not a ceremonial Sansa. But that means it is an actual head, though, meaning that someone took a human head and shrunk it in order to sell to tourists. It looks like a ceremonial, like Oddfellows mask, maybe. Then here we have a baby Siberian tigress said passed away from a local zoo, and now lives here at Cleveland Curiosities. This is Jerry the groundhog. I'm actually tempted. I'd love to take Jerry along as my sidekick on this road trip. It's a good little groundhog there. And we got another two-headed calf there. Calf there with the two eyes, the two complete faces. Up here we have a box of vintage antique human bones.
See that femur there? That's $325. Just a box of real bones. And over here we have a third two-headed calf. This one here is named Cookies and Cream. I'm saying that this is actually went missing from a sideshow in the 60s and eventually turned up. But they got 3 different two-headed calves in the same shop. I'd say, you know, it's almost like a museum as well as a store. And another complete skeleton here. It says this was a skeleton used in Oddfellows ceremonies. You can take the skeleton home today for $3,200, which is a little bit more than it cost to fix my car, but not too much. And the raccoon there chowing down on some frosted flakes. And then the possum up there eating some delicious Mike and Ike's.
As much as I wanted to purchase that groundhog and take him as my sidekick on this road trip, I did just have to have major car repairs. So I foregoed buying any sort of major purchases, any major taxidermy. I did make a few smaller purchases. So let's see what we got here. I got this here. This is a Furby Flatwoods Monster pin. Now I don't put pins in my hat necessarily much anymore, but I thought this was cool enough. Kind of the mixture of the Furby and the Flatwoods Monster. Thought big fan of Flatwoods Monster, so I thought that's probably not going to go on my hat. Maybe go on my pin board in the bunker. Let's see. I think I got another pin here. I got a bunch of pins apparently. I got a pin of the Snallygaster. This is a cryptid I really don't know that much about. I've heard it bandied about. You can see it's like an eagle with a lizard body, and it looks like it's barfing up octopus tentacles coming out of its mouth. I definitely need to do more research on the Snallygaster. I know I know it's from Maryland. I know there's a Snallygaster museum that I think is in the process of opening up to the public. That's something I need to check back in to see where we're at with this Snallygaster museum. Also got a button there of Iris, the one-eyed lamb. So that's all I got. Oh, and I got a tiny little Krampus button there, if you guys can see that. So yeah, bought a bag of buttons here at the oddity shop. You know, oddity shops are dangerous because I could always end up spending too much money on an expensive piece of taxidermy. So I try to keep it even keel here while we're on this road trip. But all right, we gotta head on towards Columbus.
Stopped off here at Moundville Cemetery here in Seville, Ohio, to see the graves of some very fascinating people. See the grave here on top, a very tall statue of a woman. Matter of fact, that is actually a life-size statue of the woman buried here. That is Anna Bates, who was a giant. She was 7 foot, 11 inches tall, weighed 413 pounds. And what is interesting about this family is that they were all giants. Her husband, Captain M.V. Bates, it's Captain Martin Van Buren Bates, who's buried right here. He was a giant as well. He was 7 foot 9 inches, so actually a couple inches shorter than his wife. He did hold a world record. He was the tallest person to ever live in excess of the age of 80. So we have Martin Van Buren Bates, who also, you see here, you don't see this much in Ohio. You see a Confederate Army plaque there. He served in the Confederate Army. So yes, he was in the Confederate Army, and he was 7 feet 9 inches. Just imagine seeing a giant soldier back in the day when people were even shorter back then, to see a massive giant come rushing over a hill there. So yeah, the large couple here. I was trying to determine if they were the largest couple, but I can't find that record. I don't know if necessarily they were, if there possibly was other giant couples, but definitely very impressive, the combined height of the two, both in excess of 7 feet tall. And this is very sad here. Also buried in this grave is an infant boy. They apparently did not give their son a name when he passed away. Because of their large size, they were unable to conceive. Well, they could conceive a child, but the children, they gave birth to several children. All of them died within a matter of hours or days. This child here only lived 11 hours. But this child, even though it has no name, actually does hold a Guinness World Record of being the largest infant ever born. 30 inches long, weighed 23 3/4 pounds, making it the largest baby ever born. Sadly, only living 11 hours though. Yeah, if you look down here, you can see Martin's grave, Anna's grave, and the baby, which just simply says babe. And yeah, she actually toured with P.T. Barnum. She was a sideshow performer. So she was actually in the famous museum fire, Barnum's museum fire, and then she almost perished in that fire. You can see that giant statue for a giant lady. Currently in Belleville, Ohio, and the rain is still coming down, but that couldn't stop me from visiting Jock, the world's largest bobblehead. You can see Jock here. He's holding 2 roast beef sandwiches. Actually looks like he doesn't have any hands. He's just got stumps under those roast beef sandwiches. And you look up at his head and see that they replaced his neck with a giant spring. Oh, he actually bobbled there a little bit in the wind. I was wondering what we needed to do to get him to bobble, but apparently he does bobble in the wind. Maybe if an earthquake happened, he'd bobble quite a bit. Yeah, can you guys see that? He's just bobbling just a little bit. Now, I don't know if he officially meets the parameters of world's largest bobblehead. I know he is not the only figure to claim such a thing. There is another world's largest bobblehead in Hamilton, Pennsylvania at an Ollie's store. And I don't know, I've been to both. I think Jock might be a little taller. I think the Ollie's might be a little thicker and larger, but I think Jock here is maybe the tallest bobblehead. And again, I can see his head bobbling just ever so slightly on that big spring. And here, sharing a parking lot with Jock, we have the Buckeye Express Diner, an old train that you can actually dine inside. I actually do want to get out of the rain. It is getting really wet out here, so let's see if we can go inside. All right, looks like they are open. All right, let's look around here inside the train. Actually dine inside the train car. I think I'm the only person currently dining here. It is a stormy day outside. I got pretty wet hanging outside there with with Jock. But yeah, look at this train car. This is pretty fun. The main train car here, but you can also dine across the way here in the caboose. You can actually see the caboose seats right there. In the back of the caboose here. As we dine in, we can see poor Jock all stuck out in the rain by himself. Oh wow, look what showed up. This is, they called it the Woody Burger. It said it had bacon horseradish sauce, but look how thick that sauce is on there. A big glob of that sauce. Very interesting. Let's try this. This looks good. There's a dining here in a train car. Let's try our Woody Burger. And just wow, look at that. It's got a really thick horseradish bacon sauce on it. It's super good. Good burger. That sauce is really unique. We've got a chunky, creamy horseradish to it, and you taste the bacon in there. Let's try another bite. It was pretty amazing. We have the hand-cut fries here. It's really good. I don't always like hand-cut fries, or like the fresh fries. They taste too much like a potato to me, which I know is ridiculous, but I like these. These are done very well. These are cooked just right. Okay, and I have obtained Clean Basket Club status. Still looks pretty rainy out there, but I guess it's time to go out and brave the weather. It was great seeing you, Jacques. Keep bobbling. It's also some sort of fiberglass cowboy out here with that big steer. We're just passing through Sunbury, Ohio here, which honestly right now is not very sunny. It's actually pretty cold and rainy, but I saw this as I was driving past the courthouse here. They have a carving of Johnny Appleseed in front of the courthouse. I was out of the corner of my eye, I saw the statue, and I'm like, does that statue have a pot on his head? Could that be the man himself? Is that Johnny Appleseed? And yes, actually it is. I parked, I walked over here. It says Johnny Appleseed, John Chapman, 1774 to 1845, a frequent visitor and friend here in Sunbury, Ohio. They had their bicentennial celebration in 2016, and it looks like they carved this tree into Johnny Appleseed. I wonder if this was an apple tree originally. And yeah, this does look like a wood carving. I think there's something, yeah, it's like wood carving, but they've put something over it. There's like a slick coating, I guess, to protect the wood, so Johnny Appleseed can live on for generations. He actually did travel this part of Ohio, this region, this Ohio area, the surrounding states, Indiana as well, and planted apple seeds. I mean, grew apple trees. I know that I think that there's rumors that there may actually still be a few, maybe one or two of his apple trees still in this area, but I'm not entirely sure where those are. But yeah, a beloved figure in these places. can see he's got his satchel there, presumably full of apple seeds, and then some sort of farming tool down here. I guess that would be used to plant apple seeds. And you can see his barefoot, known for wearing no shoes. He would wear a pot on his head that he would use to make his meals. He traveled around, actually preached Christianity as he traveled. And yeah, interesting folk legend here in America. Oh, watch out, just walking back to my car, I noticed there's actually a gremlin up in that window looking down on me. Oh my, don't let him get wet.
All right, this road trip honestly is starting to feel a little bit snake bitten. I was just driving here. I think we're still in Sunbury, Ohio. And I just got rear-ended by another vehicle. I was I was, this happened like 5 minutes ago, so I'm a little rattled. It's okay, I'm in the car waiting. I was parked back there, I stopped at the stop sign, ready to pull out onto this road here, and I got hit from behind. Oh my gosh. I called the highway patrol, told them what happened. I'm sitting here, he jostled me. I don't think I'm hurt. I don't think my back, I felt it, definitely felt it in my back. Sometimes you see people get sore later, but right now, I hope I'm okay. I hope it was just a little jostle. Yeah, I just got my car out of the shop yesterday because of the power booster went out. Now I have an accident, which is starting to stink a little bit. Here, I'll show you guys where, on the side of the road, I'll show you guys where I got hit. So yeah, you can see I got hit right there, sticking out right there. And I'll try not to show my license plate, but yeah, that's all smashed in right there. And try to open this up. See, that's messed up, and yeah, normally there's a button that will close the back here. It's not working. The guy that hit me, he jumped out, he said sorry, he said it's all my fault, I take full responsibility, and then he said, can I just give you money now? And I'm like, this is going to be expensive. I don't know how much this is. That's going to be expensive to get that fixed. And then jeez, oh Pete. So I told him I think better just go through insurance. People always, I don't know, I had that happen another time where I got rear-ended and someone was like offered money and I got a quote and it was like thousands of dollars. Yeah, it's never cheap. It's never cheap when they, you know, even if it looks like a little fender bender, it's always expensive. But actually, I don't know, it was sitting on the dashboard, actually knocked a pin off my hat. I don't know where that went, but oh my gosh, yeah, this is, I'm trying to stay positive, but there's been some challenges, the last few days, so I'm gonna wait here, and I think my car should be drivable, but oh my gosh, I don't know. So it's the Choose My Adventure road trip, and I was trying to do a long road trip. I don't know if I'm gonna have to, what I'm gonna do about, I'm gonna have to call my insurance, I think. Sorry, I know I'm just rambling. I just stuck a camera in front of my face when I hadn't even processed all this yet. But yeah, another massive inconvenience on this road trip.
So the damage ended up being a little worse than I initially thought. If you look here, I don't know if you can tell, but part of that part of the car there is actually pressed against the tire. When I started to drive, I could feel it grinding, so I cannot drive this car. Unfortunately, I cannot drive it away from the scene of the accident. So I spoke with Geico, and they're gonna send a tow truck. They said the tow truck can take me to a dealership. It will be, someone will come out and look at the car at the dealership. I gotta get fixed. I picked this car up from a dealership a day ago, and now ending up tonight, 48 hours later, at another dealership for a completely unrelated reason. The guy that hit me, he drove away. Not drove away like illegally. Like, the sheriff came and got all our information, and he left because I guess his car could drive. But when I tried to drive away, I could feel that grinding, and I couldn't safely drive. So they said they can give me a car to rent, but I'm gonna have to come back to Columbus to pick my car back up when it's fixed. And that started to like register with me that you just try to gather my thoughts here, that I know it could be a long time. I know cars end up you know, taking a very long time to get fixed. I know there's some parts issues. Of course, I'm just thinking ahead here. I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't know how long this car is going to be stuck in Columbus. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm trying to be positive, but I'm shook up right now, and I'm stressed out. And I was trying to make this grand road trip. This Choose My Adventure road trip. Now I don't even know this whole thing. Someone backing into, someone running into me, someone hitting me is like luckily all this will be covered insurance wise because this wasn't my fault, but it just puts my entire life into chaos right now. I don't want to complain too much. I know people out there have worse situations than I have, in more stressful situations. I'm trying to stay positive, but man, I'm struggling right now. Struggling to stay positive. Struggling to keep it together. Just waiting for the tow truck to come get me, and we'll just take it step by step because that's the only thing we can do. So we had some fun today. We went to Cleveland Oddities, really cool oddity shop. So some really cool three two-headed calves. They had one of the coolest Cyclops sheep I've ever seen. We saw the Johnny Appleseed statue. Always a fan of Johnny Appleseed. I got to eat in a train. Not every day do you get to eat in a train. Next to the world's largest bobblehead. But, so yeah. We had some fun today. We also had some issues today. Yeah, oh man. You know what they say sometimes. I've heard a phrase bandied about, and that people say, it's okay to not be okay. And I came pretty close today to not being okay. It's I don't want to sit here and feel sorry for myself, because so many people out there have it so much harder than me. But man, I was not expecting to have my car wind up back at a dealership. So tow truck driver showed up. He actually, I wish we would have been filming this. It was a tow truck. It's not like the classic tow truck with the hook. It was more like they have a bed that lowers and you drive the car up and then it raises and then the car stays on there. So because you could drive my car a little bit, like I showed you, there was like that plastic thing in the tire, so you could drive my car a little bit. So he made the ramp and then he started driving it up, and then when he drove it up to the top, my suitcases rolled out of the back. Rolled out of the back of the car because the latch won't latch on the trunk, the hatch that opens up. So the hatch opened up and my suitcases fell out. I wish I would have got that on film. But so then he had to redo it. He drove back down, turned around, went up the ramp so the stuff wouldn't fall out, and then drove me to the dealership. Dropped the car off at the dealership. There's no one there. It was closed. So I dropped a note in there telling them what my name was, my car, my phone number. So I will hopefully hear from them. Right now, everything's up in the air. I don't know what to do. The Geico told me that I can get a rental car, and I can keep the rental car while my car is getting fixed. The only thing is my car is now stuck in Columbus. So I don't know how long it's going to take my car to get fixed. I mean, I could always come back to Columbus and then pick up my car. I just don't know the time frame there, or where I'm going to be. So yeah, it's all up in the air. Hopefully I can get a rental car tomorrow. Hopefully I can get more information about my car to find out how long I'm going to be looking at as far as repairs go. As far as the Choose My Adventure road trip, aka the Devil's Road Trip, we're gonna see. I'm not gonna put out a. I'm probably gonna end up staying in Columbus for at least a few days. Once I know more, I'll put up a poll looking at other cities to go to. If I'd like to keep the road trip going, but I have to be realistic. I have to roll with the problems. We may have to make adjustments. It's just the way it is. So, thank you guys. Everyone's been amazing. With the last car disaster I've had, that was I think that was 48 hours ago. We're now into another car disaster. Oh man. Oh man. It's these are the challenges. These are the challenges of being on the open road. You know, when you're far from home, things can happen. Again, it could have been worse. I could have been hurt. I don't think I'm hurt. I may be hurt. I definitely felt pain when I got slammed. It hurt my back momentarily. Now my neck is sore. My back's a little sore. Hopefully, I think I'm going to be sore any way you look at it. Just hopefully I didn't hurt anything that's going to be long term. I fully expect to wake up hurting tomorrow, because I could feel it starting right now. But I didn't get seriously hurt. I didn't get killed. I could have been killed. I could have, you know, so much more could have happened that could have been bad. These are major inconveniences, but they're inconveniences. They've not rose to tragedies or things like that. So, trying my best. I think my brain reached max capacity today, as far as juggling problems.
I'll tell you something about myself. I'm not good at problems. I'm not good at problem solving. And of course, you know, a lot of that ties into you know, the being on the spectrum, and that I'm not, you know, it makes it difficult whenever I'm confronted with a lot of choices. It's difficult, but you know, I'm doing my best to stay positive. I think that's the best thing to do. Once, you know, you kind of give in to despair, things tend to get worse. So I'm gonna be positive and just do what I'm supposed to do tomorrow, and see if I can get things straightened up to at least some degree. I will check back in tomorrow. I'll put up a video of some form or another tomorrow, just to let you guys know what's going on. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for being so supportive. And thank you for riding in my back seat, even though my back seat is temporarily unavailable. But we will keep this train on the track, this boat on the water, and this dirigible in the air. Till next time, my friends. This one's in the bag.